Hello, Shekhapuri sir.
Yes, madam.
You are ready now?
Yes, madam.
Navle madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can start.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to introduce Mr. Nitin Shikapure. His BE Mechanical, ME Industrial, and MBA in Operations. His total experience, industry plus teaching, is 20 years. He is presently working as an assistant professor in Production Engineering Department, AISSMS College of Engineering. His significant achievements include Associate Project Facilitator for Cummins, Scope for Generators in Indian Market. He is selected as an associate member of faculty at CIRT Government of India. His book published includes Humanities and Social Science by Wiley Publications. His associate project facilitator for Tata Infotech for their HR department. Taught more than 13 subjects, and he has received Best Student Services Award by Indo-US Organization USA. We welcome you, sir, and I request sir to take over the session.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for the introduction. Very good afternoon to all and one and all. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. Mangal Then, madam, uh, the coordinator of FDP and AISSMS College of Engineering for giving me the opportunity to share my views with all the participants. Today, I'm going to share Gagny's 9 event of instruction developed by Mr. Robert Gagny, an American psychologist best known for his work in condition of learning. So before that, let me start with, let me share my PPT. Okay. It basically focus on classroom management and the way to conduct lectures by understanding the conditions of learning. As we know, we are loaded with various terminologies like traditional approach, flip approach, various teaching techniques, collaborative, cooperative learning, cognitive learning, active learning, creative learning, maybe out of box thinking, Bloom's taxonomy, and many more. Still, I wonder that people say teacher don't have that much work to do. So it is very surprising. So you can consider that this particular presentation is the cluster of all these techniques which we have just mentioned. And the main focus is to develop the interest of the student in learning. That will be the main focus of this Gagny's 9 event of instruction. It is not like that we as a teacher are not using all these tools. The only thing is that every teacher adopts all these techniques with respect to the nature of the subject. Some subjects are theoretical, maybe some subjects are 100% numerical, or some may be the combination of theory and numerical. So sometimes it's become a challenge to use all these techniques. But being a teacher, we need to cope up with all this. We need to have a cutting edge and in-depth knowledge about our subject. So we can bring out of the difference in delivering lecture according to the current situation and is the demand of today's era. During explaining these 9 events of instruction, I am going to give some examples. Most of these examples have been taken from my subject, which may be or may not be directly applicable to every case, but somehow we can incorporate it in our respective subject. So first of all, we will see that what is the objectives, learning objectives of today's session. Uh, First, we will able to explain the various stages of Gagny's learning model, use memory tools to remember the stages of the model and give examples of the model. That will be our basic focus or the takeaway of today's session. So when we talk about 9 Gagny's event of instruction, first one is gain attention, second one is informing learner, simulating recall, then present the contents, provide learning guidance, elicit performance, provide feedback, assess performance, and enhance retention and transfer to the job. So these 9 instructions we are going to discuss one by one. First of all, these 9 instructions are categorized in 3 different ways. First is a preparation in which the first 3 gain attention of the students or the learner, then informing learner to the objective, what he is going to learn, that we are going to explain, then simulate recall of prior learning. So we are going to see the example of each and every instruction over here. Then second category is instruction and practice, presenting the content, providing the learner guidance, elicit performance, and providing a feedback. And in last category, assessment and transfer, assessing performance and enhancing retention and transfer. So when we start using all these 9 events, we can make our lecture more interactive, more informative, and students able to recall all these things for a longer period. This is the basic focus of this particular thing. So coming to the first event, again attention. So ensure that learners are ready to learn and participate in activities by presenting a simulate to gain their attention. So what are the different methods to get the attention of students? Simulate students with novelty, uncertainty, or surprise. So surprise element is very, very necessary, or you need to come up with some novelty examples. Pose through the provoking question to the students so student will gain attention. Then have student pose question and let them answer to that question by other students. That we can do. Even present new and interesting situation that provoke the curiosity. We need to develop the curiosity in the student, because whenever we enter into the class, it is very obvious that students are scattered, they are chit-chatting in between them. Then we need to tell them, please try to concentrate on lecture or something like that. But in 9 events of instruction, if we follow this instruction, we can do this very easily, that we are going to see with some of the example, and present meaningful and relevant challenges. These are some of the methods to gain the attention. Now, if you want to take an example, suppose Mr. X, we are going to call Mr. X or Professor X. He want to start with the topic of machine. So he will show machine and he will start. But students are not that much inclined to look at the presentation, or maybe not able to, because they are not that much curious about all these things. But Mr. Y, who is using instructions or event of instruction given by Gangi, what he will do, he will just post this picture. Now in this picture, we don't need to say that we are going to learn about machine or something like that. Immediately they will recall about the movie called 3 Idiot. Okay? Most of the Indians have seen this movie. Then they come across about that scene. Then they will start imagining, okay, this is something about machine. There is one simple machine, simple definition for machine, one complicated definition for machine. All this stimulation starts in their mind, and the curiosity will generate within the student. So this is one example. After that, you can show them a simple picture. Can you name the machine? And then you can tell them that you people start discussing with each other and try to understand what type of machine is this. In discussion, they may say it's an earth moving machine, it may be JCB, bulldozer, blah blah, whatever it may be. So the interaction will start within them, and they will start participating in the class, and they will get connected with the topic. This is the basic idea behind all these things. Now again, just for a curiosity, you can put a question like, as we are discussing about machine, and as looking at the present situation, we will need mask. So what would you like to incorporate in mask, which you are going to design? So with this question, you are going to trigger their imagination. Now, when you trigger their imagination, they will wonder what I can incorporate. It's a machine. What should I want? I want to oxygen intake or something like that. Then you can give them example like this, that you can print your own photograph, because people are not able to recognize you. So the mask should be like this. And you believe it or not, in India, 2 or 3 people started doing this business, and they are earning like anything. Okay. And as it just to create some light moment, you can put these photographs also. Then one more thing, when we are talking about the techniques, present meaningful and relevant challenge, you can provide them a crossword. In this crossword, what you can do, tell them to write down the different types of machine, different names of machine. And in explanation, you can give the use or purpose of that machine. And on the basis of that, what they will do, they will try to solve this particular crossword. To your surprise, you believe it or not, I used to carry out this activity and I get almost response from 90% of student in the class. These are some of the example, real life examples of the student. They have given answers. This particular crossword is for suppose quality characteristics. They start solving it. Start making it. They start taking interest and they get interacted with this word or terminologies which they are going to use in future. So the curiosity generate, the idea generates the innovation starts over here within the students. These are several examples. Now this example, some students may use Excel sheet, they do it very properly and something like that. So indirectly you start them learning most of the things which we cannot imagine also. So that is the beauty of all these parameters. Then informing a learner is the second point. Inform students about the objective and outcomes. It is clearly said that whenever we start course, we need to tell the objective, course outcomes, COs, and all those things to the student. But how you describe them, that is going to play a very important role. What is their required performance, how you are going to establish criteria, all these things will play a very, very important role. Now, if you take an example, suppose Mr. X is taking basic mechanical engineering and the course objective, he will simply say these are the course objective and he will read out. Okay. At the same time, he will say these are defined by the university. So this will be our basic objective. But Mr. Y, who is using 9 events of instruction, what he will do, he will put those objective because we are not in position to change the objective. But at the same time, I will give you an example by taking first course objective. This course will help the student. When we come to the students, tell them student means you. So they create some curiosity. Yes, somebody is talking about me. I give them some importance. That is very, very important. So then they get uh, acquired with that particular thing. They start concentrating on that. The student is you. Then again, you can tell them what is mechanical. It's the branch of engineering that design, production, operation. So when they start thinking about the machine, it's not only about machine or working of machine. It is also about design. It is about production. It is of operation. So such thing gets stick in their mind and they start understanding what is mechanical, what is engineering. You believe it or not, 70% students even don't know the definition of engineering when you ask them if they are in third year or maybe in final year. So the action of working artfully by doing something about. So just we need to revise all these things every time. That is very, very important. You can explain them a marking scheme, what will be the marking scheme, the duration, the minimum passing mark and all. This information we need to provide them at any cost. Then third one is simulating recall. Now help student make sense of a new information by relating it to something they already know. Because most of the time we mostly tell them what they have supposed to do or what they are supposed to learn. But can we attach that particular thing with whatever they know previously? Okay, or maybe from a prerequisite subject or maybe from a real life situation. Ask them questions. Okay, uh, ask student about their understanding of a previous concept. So discussion with these people is going to play very important role. I will take one more example for that. Uh, Again, Mr. X, he will start with the simple definition of machine. A machine is a device that makes work easier by changing the size and direction of force. Okay, so what student will do? They will start mug up. They will start remembering this machine is the device that makes easier or changing its size and something like that. But if you are following a 9 events of instruction, Mr. Y will come up with some new idea. He will just show one picture. What is machine? So where you see machine in this picture, if you want to pick up this barrel up to certain height, what you are going to do if you don't have any machine? So you are just going to lift up. The weight will be more, but the pulley which you are seeing in it is considered as a machine. And now you can see that the direction of force also changes. Now he is pulling. Okay, so this picture memory is a long-term memory. So he will always remember this picture and he can correlate this picture with the definition. So that will, indirectly you are making him aware about what is exactly mean by machining. Okay, that is very, so it helps student make sense and new information by relating it to something they already know or to something they have already experienced. That is very, very important. Now the point number 4 is present the contents. Okay, use strategy to present or cue lesson content to provide more effective, efficient instruction. Organize and chunk content in a very meaningful way. That is very, very important. For that, we are very fortunate. We have PPTs, we have a lot of videos, we can show them, we can present that, we can explain those things. That is, we can even demonstrate. Okay, that we need, that we can do. We can go for a group work also, or use maximum number of media resources available. So that is really going to help the to student to understand, and as a teacher for us to present the content. I'm going to take some of the examples, like suppose again coming back to the machine, how machine work. Machine needs some input other than raw material too. So input may be, looking at this machine he will say electricity. No, you can tell them input is nothing but a source of energy. Energy may be mechanical, hydraulic, natural gas, or maybe electrical, water, chemical, steam. So what you are doing indirectly, you are increasing his horizon of thought process. Now he will start thinking input is something source of energy. It may be anything. Okay, and output will be good. Then some of the example of machines. Again, Mr. X comes with the machine examples. He will say sorting machine, answering machine, washing machine, vending machine, ventilator machine, radio, TV, sewing machine, ticket machine, editing machine. All these are nothing but a machine. But can we make some change in these so student will get more familiar and he will start participating with us in the class? That we need to see that. Suppose if I put all these machines in a very different manner, a different sizes of eggs are sorted by machine. So it is nothing but a sorting machine. Ask them which type of machine you think about. If I am not at home, when you call, leave a message on machine. So it's called as a answering machine. Don't forget to put towels in the machine before you go out. So he will immediately say washing machine. So they will start taking interest and they will understand what type of machine or what are the categories of machine, or to which thing we can call it as a machine. Doctor keeps him alive on a life support machine. So ventilator. There is a vending machine of the platform that dispenses snacks. Now here you are educating most of the student, because if you ask this vending machine question to the student, hardly 4 or 5 students will say we know about vending machine, because they somewhere somehow visited airport or maybe the outside India. But in India, still vending machine is a new concept. So make them aware what is vending machine, how it works. When they interact with that machine, they will feel more familiar and they will start recalling that knowledge. That is going to play a very important role. The machine emits high-pitched sound when you press the button. It may be speaker, it may be TV, it may be radio. A sewing machine is operated by foot table and needs some coins. So it's a parking ticket machine. Then I will need a powerful machine for vending or editing videos. Then when you put such type of thing in front of them, what will happen? They will start thinking on their own rather than just giving the name of the machine. Then you can show some videos like ice cream cone maker. They look at all these things with a very large curiosity. This is the example of mass production. So you can talk about n number of things while showing this videos or picture. It is not something like that the video is going on and you also observing video, they are also observing. You need to recall something or need to generate new idea, new information, or to feed up new information in their mind. So they will understand what is mass production and all those things. Metal rod shaper, they will start thinking, okay, which material is this? It's bending automatically and what's happening. So the curiosity generate within the, so such small video plays very important role. to present the contents. Even apple slicer. Okay, when you slice the apple at home, okay, it is we use different thing, and in industry, the industry people use very different thing. Automatic handwriter. Okay, so they get amazed how you are going to use this. Try to include some funny moment in that. uh, don't use this for your assignment completion or something like that. So it's a light moment we need to create every time, because it is very difficult for us to make them engage in our lecture for 40 minutes, because their brain goes out, comes in, goes out, comes in. So we need to recall them every time. This is some innovation about the machine. This is nothing but the fusion of two machines. One is Fevistick and other is butter. It is very difficult to apply butter on bread. So what you can do, you can make a fusion of the machine. So innovation starts in their mind. Look at this umbrella. Would you like to buy this umbrella or simple umbrella? Why? Well, there is an innovative thing included in the product. Product might be same, but there is some innovation, so the market share may increase. Just give them a 2-3 lines idea and move forward. This is also machine. If you are health cautious, what you can do, you can use such type of belt. Right now it's showing 95, tomorrow it's 100, then it's a signal for you to start exercising. Now what is this? This is a dress or wipe machine. You think, let them think. That is more important. We don't need to explain each and everything. Their mind should occupy with all these things, and they will start thinking, what is going on? Why we are calling it machine? Is it really machine? Then they will start asking questions and then answer to those questions. That is more important. Fifth one is provide learning guidance. Okay. Advise student of strategies to add them a learning content and of resources available. Concept mapping of association, role playing, that is also important. Case study for real world application, analogies to help knowledge and construction, graphics to make a visual association. So take one example. Again, let them think, let them imagine. That is most important. Just show them a pen. Suppose if I'm showing them a pen and I ask them, can you imagine pen is a machine and how many number of parts are there? Then again, they will start discussing. Okay, there are 4, 5, 6, 7. They come up with a different number. Okay, so then show them. This is the complexity of this machine. We see pen as a simple machine, but there are a number of parts. So the interest will generate. Then how we produce these parts, who produce this part, then what is SME and all these things. We can discuss a lot of things on in a single lecture, and we can provide a number of information to the student. That's my experience. Then elicit performance. This is also very important. Let the student do something which they newly acquired behavior, skills, or knowledge. Provide them with a practice activities to activate the learning process. Because unless and until you are not going to give them opportunity to demonstrate whatever they have learned and what they're thinking about it. So go for let them demonstrate, maybe for role playing or showcase their knowledge or give them scenario or case study. With the help of that, you can engage them very nicely. This is the role playing activity. I used to give one topic and student comes and they discuss. We record this video, then they watch. All the students who go through this video, then they start to analyze the things. Then other activity starts automatically. That is very, very important. Now coming back to the next point, provide feedback. Now this is a continuous process and a long-term process. Providing immediate feedback to the student performance to access and facilitate learning is very, very important. Now, most of the tips while providing the feedback, be positive, be objective, use first-hand information, deliver focus and concise feedback, focus on areas the students can control. Now, when I'm talking about providing feedback, most of the time we provide feedback, immediate feedback in the classroom, and at the same time, while doing assessment, which is nothing but our point number 8 in the 9 event of instruction, in the assessment, you can provide such type of feedback to them. Now, there are different types of feedback, like confirmative feedback, inform student that they what supposed to do. Means whatever they are doing it right or wrong. It's a corrective feedback. Remedial feedback, if he's going or he or she is going somewhere wrong, just tell them this is the correct answer. You are supposed to write, because when you check a paper also, you can give a remedial feedback, and that feedback plays very important role, which I have observed during my course delivery. Because what happened, when you write it down what they have supposed to do, they look into it and they try to correct it in the next mm, for the next time. Okay, informative feedback, provide information which is new, different, additional suggestion to student. Because if somebody got 15 out of 15 mark, still you are in a position to give some informative feedback to that person also, because that student is at a higher level. You can tell them whatever you have written is right, but even you can include that also. You can go to that particular case study, you study that, and you will get more information. And analytical feedback, that's to provide student with suggestion, recommendation, and information. That is very, very important, the giving feedback. Because most of the time, what happened, due to lot of workload, we conduct the test but we fail to provide them their answer sheet on time. uh, the basic recommendation is that if you are conducting a test, on the next day you should provide their answer sheet and let them go through their answer sheet personally, so they will understand. Even if it is possible, let them go through the all students assigned papers, so they will understand how these people are getting 15 marks, how they are fail or something like that. That is very, very important. So assess the performance. Method of assessing is very simple, which we used to do on day-to-day basis, like written test, short questionnaire, oral questioning, and other measurement tools that shows that they have learned the material or skill effectively. That is very, very important. So what we can do, these are some examples. Suppose you check the paper, you can mark or you can give a remark. A critical is important to discuss a product and critical operations. Like uh, this is a very common scenario. Most of the students write whatever they want to. Okay, it may be relevant to the subject question or not. So give them clear feedback. No need to explain all these. Stick to the question. Then they will come to you and ask you, sir, where is wrong? What I should write or something like that. So it is very, very useful. After that, it is up to you, miss, how you can give, miss. You can recommend them to refer notes, because something is going wrong, or you come to know that he's not referring notes, he's referring something else. For that, we should know what is something else. That is also important. These are some examples. Even you can use most effectively Google Classroom. In the Google Classroom, I use it very frequently. Student submit their work, and immediately here you can see that I used to give them marks out of 30, suppose 29, 28. So you are giving them immediate feedback. That is very, very important. Even as I say, crossword, the 90% students almost appeared. So these are their assignments, and um, be positive about that. Well done, keep it up, nicely done, keep it up. Just write down 2, 3 lines. uh, these lines means a lot to student, that we need to understand. That is very, very important. Objective, never put objective just like answer it at any cost. Provide them hint, because they are learner, they are learning. Okay, a machine which is capable to do useful work, it converts and transfer energy. So they will search transforming and transferring energy. Even you can put some pictures also. They will come to know how the kinetic energy works, how energy comes in inside, how energy goes out, and the kinetic energy, where is potential energy. So indirectly you are covering a number of things within a paper also. There should be most of the time light movement. This is one of my favorite. I used to ask them this, have you ever seen these grade lines? What type of approach you need to follow that is defined by this line. So great line says that change cannot be created for you every time. You must try and bring the change yourself. Then they say, no, we never heard about all these things and all those things. Then you can tell them, this is said by Tukaram of Chitale Bandhu Mithai Wale, and what he wants to say is that Krupaya Sutte Paise Dya. Please bring the change, because it is not possible for us every time to bring the change. So tell them every time it is not necessary to think so seriously. Always keep your approach on a light mode. Try to learn maximum out of it and try to understand what we want to learn. Last point, enhance retention and transfer. To help students develop exercise, they must adopt new knowledge. Okay, having them summarize content, having them generate examples, create mind maps, concept maps, create outlines, having them create other type of reference material. Some let them do something on their own. That is very, very important. Or if you want to take a very simple example, you can say that just think of a screw jack and list out its element. Okay, what are the different types of element? Okay, so somebody will say handle, screw, nut, body. So you are involving them in your lecture. That is most important thing which we need to follow. Again, you can use MCQs on Google Classroom. You can see over here your MCQ on this randomly. You just put the MCQs and give them deadlines. You believe it or not, here you can say 36 handed in, 4 assigned, and 16 marks. So immediately the pop-up will come to your computer or maybe on your mobile. Immediately you can see his result will automatically get generated. You just need to submit it or post him. That we need to do. So these are the simple things which we need to follow, or if you follow this it is not that difficult to adopt all these 9 events of instruction. uh, Now if you look at this particular site, this is our ERP portal of our AISSMS College of Engineering. We used to upload the notes of every lecture, what we are going to cover in the lecture in the next week. So it is already there. They can go through it. Here you can observe the number of viewers. The student really refer it. Okay. So student already knows what they are going to learn in the lecture. So it increases their curiosity. I will show you one example out of this. Suppose lecture number 2 of process engineering. First of all, today's objective of today's discussion, the function and definition. Then you go with the lecture. There should be hardly 7-8 slides. And in the last, never forget to give them homework. Homework should be very light and take away. It's nothing but outcomes of today's lecture, understanding the function of product engineering department. Recap of all the presentation. Again, I will say gain attention. Hey, you inform the learner. Today we are going to learn this. Simulate recall. Yesterday we have learned how to do this, that. Then present the content. Here is something new that you should know. Then provide guidance. Here is something to help you understand. Then elicit performance. Demonstrate your understanding to me. Pose them question. Then provide feedback. This is how you could improve it. Then assess performance. This is how well you did or you need to improve. And retention and transfer of the job. Here is how to remember this and apply it. I hope that I have finished within time. Thank you for patience listening. Now, if you have any questions, please do ask.
Dear participants, chat box is open now. You can just post your questions, only questions please, so that Shekapure sir can answer those questions. Navle madam.
Yes, sir.
So please see the questions.
Yes, I'll see it. So there is a question. What do you exactly mean through elicit performance?
Elicit performance means let them allow to perform or to practice it. Okay, the student should be in a position to able to tell you that I understood this, so from that I come to this conclusion or that conclusion. That will be let them express their view. That is the basic idea behind it.
Then someone has made a question, that's standard resources. I've asked, what are standard resources?
Standard.
Resources.
Okay, I can see that question that somebody asking from what is the resource to get all these images which I have used. The Google is the best source. Is whatever in your mind, just type in Google, you will start getting pictures. Yes, Google Classroom is an open source. Anybody can use. What should be the time management in one lecture? 40 minutes, not more than 40 minutes. What is the resource we use to make lecture interactive? There are a number of things. It's on our innovative thinking that how we want to present our content. How to judge the level of academic performance of student? By asking them small question in a Google, you get all the feedbacks or their score. You can prepare an Excel sheet and you can merge that Excel sheet with your master sheet. Then automatically you start getting the progress of that student.
Someone has asked, can you give any example about engineering drawing?
Okay, engineering drawing. Engineering drawing is very interesting subject, and if you want to see all the interactive sessions we can do with the engineering drawing, you can refer my YouTube channel also. There are almost 20 to 25 videos are uploaded on my YouTube channel. There you will get all the ideas how you can animate the things, how you can repeat the things, because it is very difficult for engineering drawing to do all these things, but still we can make it effective. So you go through that channel, and in case if you have any difficulty, you post your question.
So there is a question, sir, it's very difficult to take activities or even involve the students who are not much sincere. So how can we make them participate by attendance compulsion?
Yeah, I do understand it's a big challenge, but you start using it, or you just try to experience this. Those students will start also giving you good reply, and they will support.
Then again, I think the question is repeated. What are the resources we can use to make lecture interactive?
Resources as such, your presentation itself a big resource, and you as a teacher is a big resource. These two resources we can use, and you can include everything in your presentation or what you are going to plan. For that, what you can do related to your subject, you just go through the latest technology or maybe what is happening in the world with related to that. And if you start sharing, if you start your lecture with sharing that, that will be a great idea.
So one question is there, how to judge the level of academic performance of students?
Academic performance, you have marks of the student with you. You have their level of confidence when you give them task, and how actively they are doing participation. So with the help of Excel sheet, you can merge everything into that, and it will get automatically recorded.
One question, any tool for making crossword?
Yeah, there are a number of sites on which you can make crosswords. You just type in Google that crossword, I want to make crossword. You will get a number of sites. You just need to put the words and explanation for those words. It will automatically generate the crossword.
Okay. Yes, sir. These were the questions, and many of them have given likes. That nice session, informative session.
Yeah, thank you all.
Okay. So thank you so much for informative session. It was really a knowledgeable session, and which what techniques we have to use. You have explained it very nicely to keep the students in a learning mode. Okay. So on behalf of AISSMS College of Engineering, I would like to thank you for sharing your valuable time with us.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.